On the second day of the new year, the currency market of the Oz kingdom had not yet opened, but a bleak atmosphere had already completely enveloped the building. Everyone wore serious expressions on their faces, fully aware that yesterday was just a minor skirmish. Today was the real showdown. At 9:30, the moment the market opened, hundreds of orders suddenly flooded in. It was exactly as Zhuang Ying had estimated. Not only Fang Jueyu, but also many smaller forces were eyeing this juicy opportunity. A rough estimate showed that apart from the more than $100 billion directly thrown in by Fang Jueyu, other funds exceeded $50 billion, adding significant competitiveness to this battle. Thanks to ample preparation, the Oz Kingdom's foreign exchange reserves increased their positions, forcefully resisting this wave of offensive. Interesting, these people sure have an appetite. Not only do they want to take a bite out of the Oz Kingdom, but they also dare to target me. Fang Jueyu kept an eye on the battle as the traders continuously reported the progress. Through Zhao, all the key information was transmitted into Fang Jueyu's ears. Since they're here, let's keep them all, throw money, crush them. Funds in confrontation were originally locked in an intense struggle. Suddenly, an enormous $500 billion surged into the Oz Kingdom's foreign exchange market, instantly disrupting the delicate balance. $500 billion. Snat's back was immediately soaked. Who could possibly come up with such a massive amount? Coupled with the funds invested yesterday and this wave of attacks at the opening, the opponents' US dollar reserves already exceeded $800 billion. There are hardly any countries in the world with foreign exchange exceeding $800 billion, and this cannot be a personal endeavor. Even financial consortia couldn't manage this. Who could be so rich? Did they open a bank in the United States? What's going on? Where did this huge sum of funds come from? I can't hold on. Hurry, get me new funds. I can't hold it. It's over. I've already liquidated. In an instant, the accounts of those smaller forces were all liquidated, and the foreign exchange market was wailing. Many financial organizations trying to take advantage of the chaos were wiped out in just a few minutes. Host, this round of profit is good. We gained $41 billion, and only small fry are left. Ha ha ha, so thrilling. Now Fang Jueyu finally understood why the finance industry was so popular. It was simply a heaven and hell scenario. The victors earned fortunes, while the losers were utterly ruined, a brutal reality. Unfortunately, the word failure did not exist in Fang Jueyu's dictionary, and to date, he hadn't tasted the bitterness of failure. Keep throwing orders. Our aim isn't these small financial organizations. The real target is the Oz Kingdom. Fang Jueyu slapped the table. Boom, another heavy bomb, with Fang Jueyu holding almost $2 trillion in US dollars. A mere $800 billion was only half of it. More than 10,000 traders threw another $500 billion into the currency market through various channels. There was an uproar in the whole market. Where did this mysterious organization get their money? How many countries' foreign exchange reserves were emptied to gather such funds? Did they steal the United States printing press? This $500 billion was like a nuclear bomb. The remaining international hot money, trying to hold on for a share, was instantly liquidated. They could barely mobilize a few $100 billion in US dollars at most. How could they withstand such an attack? Minister, that mysterious organization just threw in another $500 billion. We can barely hold on. Traders reported layer by layer, and the news quickly reached Snat's ears. Another $500 billion. Snat's back was instantly drenched. The opponent's enormous economic strength now shown was already almost indistinguishable from their total foreign exchange reserves. What's the current situation? Snat asked. The exchange rate has dropped by 30% since yesterday. We've already invested more than 80% of our US dollar reserves. We need an immediate injection of more funds. If the opponent invests more, we won't be able to handle it. Oz Kingdom's total US dollar reserves are about $1.4 trillion. To withstand the opposition's attack, almost more than $1 trillion are locked up. As long as the opponent's offensive doesn't stop, they have no way to divest. Moreover, if several $100 billion more come in, they have no way to deal with those empty orders, and soon they will be forcefully closed. At that point, this $1 trillion would lose at least $300 billion, and the remainder would also continue to be firmly locked. Hurry, find support. We need more foreign exchange. No matter what demands they make, agree temporarily. The foreign exchange market must not collapse. If a country's foreign exchange market collapses, the country's economy would essentially fall with it. International transactions are mostly in US dollars. If they run out, the consequences are obvious. Not long after, large amounts of funds flooded into the O's kingdom's foreign exchange accounts again. Those countries' foreign exchange reserves weren't much either, but combined they still exceeded $1 trillion. After all, they couldn't completely drain their reserves. Host, just as I estimated, several large foreign exchange capitals have now flowed into the O's kingdom, exceeding $1 trillion. Zio, you reported this news to Fang Jueyu. Haha, I knew it. The big brother got beaten, so how could the little brothers not come out to help? Fang Jueyu chuckled. Now he had over another $1 trillion at his disposal. Up till this morning, it was true that Fang Jueyu's total funds, combined with those in the currency market, amounted to just $2 trillion. But that was in the morning. It was already afternoon now. With the vast power of the Fang family, the funds at the hands of Fang Jueyu's traders were continually increasing. Let O's kingdom rest for a while. Let's switch targets first. Zio Yi had long analyzed the possibility of external support and had prepared a strategy. You all like to help each other, right? You lent all your foreign exchange to O's kingdom, so there shouldn't be much left for yourselves. Zio Yi, among those 12 countries, which one currently has the least US dollar reserves? Host, over half of those countries are from Europe and America. Most international transactions nowadays use US dollars or euros, so they don't need too much reserve. They just print more money if needed. Currently, the one with the least reserves is VIS. VIS's US dollar reserves are less than $300 billion now, and more than 80% of their banks are controlled by us. If we take them out, heh heh heh. Ha ha ha, then let's start with them. Fang Jueyu laughed sinisterly. Like cooperation and helping each other, do you? Our specialty is rural encircling urban areas, breaking the surface from a point. Let's see how you rely on your claws once I've dealt with them one by one. Fang Jueyu didn't bother with any greetings this time. All the remaining funds were instantly injected into the foreign exchange market of Wies. 1 trillion compared to 300 billion. Such a disparity of power meant that the fight would need only an hour or two to determine a winner. Before the Wies foreign exchange market closes today, wipe out their foreign reserves for me. Fang Jueyu commanded like a commander in charge of the whole situation. He didn't know or care how the foreign exchange market played out. All he wanted was a result. Me, Minister, our foreign exchange market is under attack too. Wies finance minister had just finished negotiations with the finance department of the O's kingdom, unexpectedly finding the tables turned, focusing the target on them. Wies foreign exchange reserves couldn't compare to the O's kingdom. If the organization had attacked Wies from the start, their foreign exchange market would have collapsed on the first day. Now, with most of their foreign reserves lent to the O's kingdom, they were even weaker. Quick, find someone to help us. It's no use, Minister. Other countries' foreign reserves are all supporting the O's kingdom. We are isolated and without help now. There's another 100+ short-selling orders. We have no funds left. What about the banks? Don't they have several hundred billion in foreign reserves? What are they doing? The banks said the customers are aware of the situation and are trying to withdraw their money. The bank's funds are no longer accessible. What? How could that be? How did they find out so quickly? The attack has only started for less than 20 minutes. Did someone leak the information? It's not working for me here, almost at a margin call. Same here. My account's been liquidated, lost tens of billions of dollars. In just half an hour, the entire foreign exchange market of Wies suffered a devastating blow. 3/4 of the government's accounts were wiped out, incurring losses exceeding $230 billion. While they barely protected a portion, they were utterly trapped in the market, with the amusing sum of $66.6 billion left. Young master, do we eat up the remaining part too? Ah, forget it, let them have a way out. Driving people into a corner is not good, too pitiful. Fang Jueyu suddenly felt some sympathy for Wies. Their original US dollar reserves were third in the world, and now they had plummeted. Although their foreign exchange market hadn't completely collapsed, the economy would be in a slump for the next 5 years. This was the price for going against Skynet. With 2 hours left until market close, Fang Jueyu naturally wouldn't stop there, immediately turning to target other countries that were, without exception, members who participated in the attack against Huaxia Skynet. The next day, Although Fang Juyu's attack on the O's kingdom didn't yield remarkable results, the funds grew larger, plundering nearly $1 trillion from those countries' foreign exchange markets. By tomorrow morning, when the O's kingdom's foreign exchange market opened, he would have $4 trillion in hand. Everyone's tired, take a break. Earning $1 trillion in a day, Fang Jueyu beamed with joy. Tell those traders these days count as national holiday overtime. Pay is 10 times the usual rate, and all benefits and subsidies are doubled. It's Huaxia. It's definitely the people from Huaxia who did it. Strongly condemn this robbery-like behavior. All attacked countries were those involved in the Skynet attack that day. If this financial war wasn't initiated by Huaxia, they wouldn't believe it till the end, especially the O's kingdom, where the whole country was in a state of panic. Huaxia's netizens hadn't had the mood for New Year celebrations these past 2 days. Even the Spring Festival Gala wasn't as exciting as this. All awesome. Took down 7 countries' economies in a day, I submit. Cien, great God, you're like a celestial being on earth, so satisfying. Even someone like me who knows nothing enjoys listening to it. Boss, are you continuing tomorrow? A friend of mine says he wants to watch. At Fang Jueyu, director, tell the truth, was it you? Keep some sense in your words upstairs. In these few days of financial wars, Cien, great God, has maneuvered over $3 trillion. Is this a personal fortune? But I'm blind guessing it was the director. Minister, initial estimates indicate the opponent now controls over $3 trillion. Once the market opens tomorrow, I believe the Huaxia people will continue attacking our exchange rate market. With our current US dollar reserves, I'm afraid we can't withstand it. Tap, tap, tap. Nick's pen clattered against the table as he pondered. As the finance minister of the O's kingdom, he had weathered countless storms over the years, yet their country's economy steadily grew like a 10,000-ton giant ship. But now it was akin to hitting an iceberg, like the Titanic, teetering precariously, and its sinking was just a matter of time. Seek help from the United States, Nick sighed. This was their last straw. Nick's assistant quickly dialed the United States Department of Treasury, but soon the assistant returned, looking ashen. What happened? Can't the United States spare the money to help us? Nick instinctively sensed something was amiss. The US dollar is issued by the United States. If they don't have money, can't they just print it? Nick's assistant wore a look akin to having eaten something distasteful. Minister, even if they want to print money, they need paper, no. Without paper, how do they print money? What do you mean? The paper for the US dollar is special, imported from Borat, anti-4 made-up name. They claim that from a few days ago, the entire supply of cotton fibers from Borat was completely cut off. All usable paper in the market had been scooped up by major companies within a few days, leaving not even a scrap of toilet paper. What, is there such a thing? Ha ha ha, this is killing me, not even a scrap of toilet paper. What a talent. Laughter like a barbell erupted in Gogh Shu's study as Fang Jueyu burst out. Who else but Fang Jueyu could pull this off? As they were strategizing this trade war, Zhao had already considered this part, making a few calls to have all suppliers of fiber and timber in collaboration with Borat cease cooperation. Not only that, but Fang Jueyu also directed a frenzy under companies in his Borat name to sweep up everything in the market that could be used for paper making, sparing not even toilet paper in case they had to resort to printing money with it. Quick, Zhao, capture this segment of the conversation for me. I can't be the only one to know about it. Fang Jueyu's evil sense of humor was once again ignited. Cien, let me share a segment of conversation with you all. Be mindful of your surroundings. I fear you might be treated like fools. Cien's reappearance instantly attracted countless onlookers. This time, not only Huaxia people were eating the melon, those foreigners were eating it too, even more voraciously than the Huaxia people. What the heck? Did the great god Cien steal another country's secret conversation? What do you mean steal? Cien, great god, is just taking it, openly and honestly taking it. Let me check out what's going on first. 1 minute later, all the forums in Huaxia erupted into laughter. Ha ha ha, the O's kingdom sought help from the United States, but they ran out of paper to print money, ha ha ha. There's no toilet paper left in Borat. What will they use to wipe their butts? Heh, sorry, I can't help it. Who did this? So powerful, huh? This move is so brazen, huh? Great God, see, honestly, was it you who had someone do it? Ha ha ha, my head is laughing off. Even the United States was puzzled. How could something as common as paper become scarce at such a critical moment? But their top brass were no fools. Without a doubt, this must be the work of those Huaxia people again. They just found it hard to imagine what immense resources it would take to pull this off. Not to mention, just buying all the paper and cotton linen raw materials on the market would be astronomical, along with the breach penalties for interrupting imports, which were even more unimaginable. Weren't they afraid of the collapse of the international trading market? Yet they couldn't even fathom that the extent of Fang Jueyu's wealth far exceeded their imaginations. He wasn't afraid to sit on what he purchased, merely transferring it from one part of the industry to another. The only loss he faced was that breach penalty, and compared to the $1 trillion he earned in a day, what's a little penalty? As long as he toppled the O's kingdom's foreign exchange market, those trillions of dollars would be in his pocket, and he would remain the biggest winner, Fang Jueyu. Sorry, having money truly allowed one to do whatever they wanted. Someone might say, can money buy health? Can it buy longevity? But for Fang Jueyu, yes, it could, because his family also had an ancestral superintelligent system. As long as there was money, he could practically achieve anything. Snat hadn't slept all night. He knew clearly that on this third day, the O's kingdom would be extremely difficult to sustain. He still didn't even know what the Huaxia people's ultimate goal was. There were many Huaxia enterprises rooted in the O's kingdom. These Huaxia industries had taken root, and many of their core members were O's kingdom people. If they went on strike, these industries would quickly become inoperable. If this happened, the bosses of those companies definitely wouldn't be able to sit still. They would try to find ways to stop this financial war. Whoever was behind it would certainly endure tremendous pressure, and by then, the O's kingdom's foreign exchange market might be salvaged, right? See God, they're threatening you. See God, how about letting it go? The lesson for them is about enough. Let's not crash our own country's companies. Just as the O's kingdom had thought, before the bosses of those companies had even stood up to speak, the netizens began to plead. Once the strike dragged on too long, the company's revenues would definitely suffer. After all, the Huaxia employees of those overseas companies were only a minority. More than two-thirds of the company would likely stop operating. They really had some tricks up their sleeves. Fang Jueyu hadn't expected such things to happen. Abroad, employees had significant power, and striking was also their right. As for the employee losses from the strike, the O's kingdom government would naturally compensate them. Compared to the massive losses in the foreign exchange market and the economic collapse, those compensations were negligible. Zhaoyi helped me check the scale of this strike. Fang Jueyu was a typical soft touch, not hard. Host, this involves a total of 18 large Huaxia-funded enterprises, with a total number on strike exceeding 80,000. That's it. Fang Jueyu thought there would be many more people involved. It didn't seem like that many. Sister Zhuang Ying, help me contact those company owners. Tell them I have something to discuss with them. Fang Jueyu immediately dialed Zhuang Ying's phone, sending her the information of the owners of the 18 companies. Want to play strikes with me? Then don't ever think about going back to work. Half an hour later, the owners of those 18 companies finally spoke out. Like a group, Huaxia does not accept any form of threat. All striking employees have been dismissed by the company. We're starting to recruit new employees domestically, positions as follows. Huawei Group, our company has dismissed all striking O's Kingdom employees. O's Kingdom denied attacking Huaxia's Skynet. Our company will fight to the end and is now recruiting new employees. The company provides flights with daily round trips between Huaxia and O's Kingdom. Damn, what kind of operation is this? I've heard of companies providing shuttles but never company flights. Did I misread? Daily round-trip flights. How much does the company waste in a day? Terrifying, so bold, but I like it. If you like to strike so much, go ahead. I'll quit, ha ha ha. Can someone tell me what's going on? Did these companies buy an airline? At this time, Fang Jueyu dropped a bombshell. So with a gap of 80,000 employees, most people were unwilling to work overseas, but what if it guaranteed frequent returns home? Although it's two countries, if by plane it was only a few hours. In places like Yanjing, it takes 2 hours to commute from the outer ring to the inner ring for work. What's a few hours? Starting today, I will provide charter flights for the 18 Huaxia-funded enterprises in the O's Kingdom. I have a total of 256 large passenger planes and private jets available, making daily round trips between Huaxia and the O's Kingdom. I will cover all expenses personally. My God, the Dean is amazing. Oh wow, 256 planes, Dean. Do you own a private airline? 66,666. The richest man in the world is truly the richest man in the world. I'm convinced. Dean, are there any more Diddy flight coupons left? My roommate says the world is so big, he wants to take a look. Dean, be honest, is the O's Kingdom's exchange rate market your handiwork? If you say it was you, I would believe it. Bang! The offices of the O's Kingdom's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Finance, where two ministers nearly pounded their desks into pieces. Who exactly is this Fang Jueyu? With 256 planes, just how wealthy is he? How much does he spend daily on fuel and maintenance? Is he an idiot? Minister, this Fang Jueyu, he's currently the richest man in the world. What? Even the richest man in the world spends money like this? Is he trying to bankrupt himself? They still hadn't realized that Fang Jueyu was the one who targeted the O's Kingdom's exchange rate market. To bankrupt him, half the world's businesses would have to collapse. The cost of flying a plane with a capacity of 300 to 400 people from Huaxia to the O's Kingdom, including fuel, depreciation, aircraft personnel, etc., was about 1 million yuan. With more than 200 planes, if you calculated it forcibly, the daily cost would exceed 50 million. Even if Fang Jueyu was the world's richest man, a daily expenditure of 50 million was terrifying, wasn't it? Did he not do anything else? Did he not spend money elsewhere? But what did they know? The world's energy was controlled by the Fang family, and that fuel basically cost nothing. As for other expenses together, 15 million was pretty good. Within that large operational team, even with a $500 billion working capital, Fang Jueyu's daily net profit amounted to tens of millions of US dollars. A mere $20 million didn't even count for 1/10 of his daily income. It wasn't that those people didn't have vision. They simply couldn't imagine how wealthy Fang Jueyu really was. So what if these more than 200 planes operated for a year, 10 years even? And those 80,000 employees, each one an elite, how long could the government of the O's Kingdom sustain such a large subsidy long-term? Fang Jueyu alone could contend with a nation, and with ease. Snat never imagined his opponent was someone who didn't regard money as money. How could they fight such an economic war? What would the O's Kingdom use to win? Those countries supporting them saw one market collapse after another, and within a few years, national economies would stagnate or even decline. As for the United States, the whole nation couldn't even find paper to wipe with, and now they were racking their brains on what to make paper with. Under everyone's attention, the opening of the third day finally arrived. After plundering the foreign exchange markets of 7 countries, Fang Jueyu held $3 trillion in liquidity. Meanwhile, the O's Kingdom didn't even have 1 trillion left. What did they have to resist? I originally thought they were a worthy opponent who could hold on a little longer. It seems being invincible is still too lonely. Fang Jueyu sighed with a charitable look on his face. Wipe them out in one go, and we can have a good new year. As the foreign exchange market opened, funds surged in like a tidal wave, with short sellers popping up nonstop, like little monsters in an online game. Stay strong, hold on. The finance department is trying to work something out. We must get through today. Smack, finally, a few traders couldn't help but throw down their equipment. How to hold on? With what? Your head. You politicians only cause trouble every day, and in the end, we're the ones to clean it up. The rise of Huaxia has been unstoppable for a long time. Why did you seek trouble with Huaxia? No kidding. Do you know how much capital they have? 3 times ours. Part of ours is tied up in the foreign exchange market, and we can't even raise our heads. What to fight with? The official was dumbfounded for a moment. He hadn't expected these traders to directly contradict them. Were they quitting? Smack, he slammed the table hard. Is this the way you talk? I'm telling you, if the forex market doesn't stabilize today, you'll all be unemployed. Boom, a massive hand pressed the official's head against the screen. Open your eyes wide and see clearly. How much money do these Huaxia people have? Over 3 trillion. How much do we have? 800 billion. Once they keep shorting, if we don't have any funds left to increase margin, we'll soon be forced to liquidate, and all foreign exchange will be lost to death. Do you understand? You dare lay a hand on me, you're fired, the official said angrily. Unemployed is fine. Do you think we're so attached to this job? The trader tossed aside his things, not knowing who you're facing, unable to come up with sufficient funds. No matter who you bring, it's useless. Yeah, to be honest, several consortiums have already come to poach us, offering prices 10 times higher. I quit. Whoever wants to do it can do it. A group of traders dared goodbye and left their jobs. With their experience and skills, they could thrive anywhere. Why put up with this crap here? Master, their resistance has weakened. It seems they're starting to give up. Is that so? Fang Jueyu calmly picked up a cup of fragrant tea and took a sip. All right, enough playing. Prepare for the final blow, force all their remaining account positions to liquidate and make as much as possible. Yes, master. The pace of Fang Jueyu's team's attacks suddenly seemed to slow down a bit, but everyone knew they were building up momentum for the final assault. Launch the main attack at 3 p.m., the team leader ordered. Time ticked by second by second. The moment 3 o'clock hit, hundreds of orders suddenly appeared out of thin air. All of the funds of the O's kingdom had been used to balance the previous assault, and they truly didn't have a cent left. Finally, the colossal foreign exchange market of the O's kingdom collapsed with a loud crash. Over half the accounts were forcefully liquidated in an instant. Their last remaining bit of power barely protected below 100 billion in foreign exchange. As for the rest, it all ended up in Fang Jueyu's hands. Master, it's over. The chief began to report to Fang Jueyu. This time we've gained a total of $3.35 trillion. The exchange rate of O's kingdom's currency is now worthless. Without new capital injections to stabilize the market, their economy will be doomed for the next 10 to 20 years. Very well, split that spare $50 billion among yourselves and go enjoy the New Year holiday. Have a good rest. Thank you, Master. The voice across instantly became extremely excited. $50 billion split among even 10,000 people still meant millions for each. On the morning of the fourth day of the new year, Wang Kong suddenly received a transfer of $12 billion in his account. He froze for a moment, then burst into joy. He had scraped together $5 billion for Fang Jueyu, and it had doubled in just 2 short days. Was there any more lucrative business in the world? Not just Wang Kong, but Ma Teng, Hilton, and others also received massive funds transferred to them. Ma Teng's $9.5 billion directly became over $200 billion. Mr. Fang, how much did you make this time? Take a guess, Fang Jueyu said mysteriously. 500 billion. Too little. Just the O's kingdom's own US dollar forex was over $1.4 trillion, and don't forget there were 11 other countries. Well, the trillion. I'm telling you, more than 3 trillion. Damn, Ma Teng drew a sharp breath, rarely letting out an expletive. Ha ha ha, with so much money made, I have to give you shareholders some dividends, right? Fang Jueyu jokingly said. Even after deducting those dividends, Fang Jueyu still earned over $2 trillion in funds. That's not dividends, you bastard, that's loot sharing. Ma Teng began to worry about the O's kingdom. Why did this country have to provoke Huaxia of all countries? Why provoke Fang Jueyu, this devil? It truly was a pitiful country. The exchange rate plummeted, and the currency of the O's kingdom suddenly became worthless, with domestic inflation becoming unbearably severe. The country's top officials frantically sought assistance, but their 11 allied nations were struggling themselves, and any foreign exchange aid was just a drop in the bucket. At this moment, those 12 countries all turned to Huaxia for help. There was no choice. Huaxia was wealthy. It was the only country that could save them. However, a gap of nearly $2 trillion in foreign exchange was not something even Huaxia could easily cover. After all, Huaxia's total foreign exchange reserves were just over 3 trillion, and Huaxia still needed that foreign exchange for import and export trade. It was then that the leader of Huaxia received a very special phone call, surprisingly from that internet legend named CN. Somehow, he had directly hacked into that place. Leader, I'll immediately investigate this CN, the leader's secretary promptly said. This CN had vast divine skills. Someone like him had to be under the nation's control to ensure safety. If he ever decided to do harm to Huaxia, who could stop him? No need. This CN once helped Tianwang fend off the joint invasion of 12 countries, proving he is a very patriotic person. We should trust him rather than control him, the leader said with a smile. I've wanted to meet him for a long time. You can leave now, I'll talk to him. Don't worry, it's not like he can follow the internet lines to kidnap me in person, the leader joked. Yes, I'll head out then. The Secretary General nodded and left the office, closing the door behind him. Hello, leader, I'm CN. A very young voice came from the other end of the line. Fang Jueyu had Zhao Yi use some methods to alter his voice, so the leader didn't recognize it as Fang Jueyu's. Heh, Cien, you're doing a great job. Let me first thank you on behalf of Huaxia for stepping in that night to protect Tianwang. Otherwise, we don't know how much valuable data and documents Huaxia would have lost. The leader remained as approachable as ever. Leader, you're too kind. At times like these, any capable Huaxian wouldn't stand idly by. It's what one should do as a Huaxia citizen. You don't need to thank me, just don't blame me for making so many unilateral decisions, Fang Jueyu said. Ha ha ha, I knew it. You were behind the currency market crash in the O's kingdom, weren't you? He, it was me, Fang Jueyu said, embarrassed. They were just too shameless. They teamed up to attack Huaxia's Tianwang, and yet they were the first to complain and try to bite back. I couldn't stand it and thought they needed a little lesson to remember. You hit them hard enough with that slap. The economy of these 12 countries won't recover in 3 to 5 years. As for the O's kingdom, it won't bounce back in 10 or 20 years. The leader was also quite shocked by this event. A non-state individual organization having such vast funds, if Huaxia were the target, even Huaxia might not withstand it. However, Cien, one should be forgiving whenever possible. They didn't cause any serious damage to our country, so there's no need to punish them so harshly, the leader said. You're right, leader, Fang Jueyu stuck out his tongue. He actually thought he had overreacted this time, practically driving those countries to the brink. I actually wanted to discuss this matter with you. Oh, then go ahead and tell me, the leader became interested. For some reason, another young man's image popped into his mind. Leader, those countries should have already approached Huaxia for foreign exchange loans, right? Fang Jueyu asked, though he already knew the answer. Such things couldn't be hidden from Zhao Yi. Yes, without enough foreign exchange to stabilize the market, their economies will crumble in a few days. Ha, if they want to borrow money, just lend it to them, Fang Jueyu said. It isn't as simple as you imagine, the leader laughed. Our Huaxia's US dollar foreign exchange reserves are the largest in the world, but we can't help so many countries at once. They have a total gap of over 2 trillion US dollars, and we are powerless to help. Leader, you still have me. Fang Jueyu grinned cheekily. I managed to scoop up over 3 trillion US dollars from those dozen countries and those international financial conglomerates looking to take advantage of the situation. However, I borrowed quite a bit this time, so I can't shortchange my friends. My employees need to eat, and I have to keep some for myself, right? Ha, you young rascal, you're quite cunning. The leader caught Fang Jueyu's drift. He wanted to keep some spoils for himself. Leader, I can provide the remaining 2 trillion. You can lend it to them in Huaxia's name, and as for the terms, make them tough, Fang Jueyu said. Letting them off was one thing, punishing them was another. At the very least, they should first admit to attacking Huaxia's Tianwang, then apologize publicly on the international stage, and the interest on this money should be steep. Fang Jueyu had already decided. Even if their economies didn't collapse, they should keep a low profile for the next few years. Are you charging high interest? The leader understood Fang Jueyu's intention. Of course, think of it as me running a payday loan company, but I don't want the country's interest, just use the money as you see fit. When you're done, pay me back whenever. I don't really need these 2 trillion. Even the leader's mouth twitched slightly. What did it mean to not need these 2 trillion? Worldwide, aside from Huaxia, no country had foreign reserves exceeding 2 trillion. How did 2 trillion sound like $200 coming from Fang Jueyu? But on second thought, this solution wasn't bad at all. It served as a warning to show the world Huaxia was not to be trifled with, while also establishing Huaxia's image as a major power. It was a win-win situation. Then I'll thank you on behalf of the nation for this money. The leader, after some thought, agreed. Of course, he intended to give Fang Jueyu part of the interest. In reality, Huaxia would profit from this interest, and the leader wasn't concerned, as it would also win over Cien. Why not? All right, leader, since our business is done, I'll slip away. I've got to prepare for the new year, ha. Wait, the leader stopped him. Leader, anything else? Cien, I hope that wherever you are, you always remember you are Huaxian, the leader said solemnly. Rest assured, leader, Fang Jueyu said word by word. I will always remember this land that bore and raised me. I will forever be Huaxian. My spear will never point at Huaxia, and as for anyone intending harm to Huaxia, whether individual or nation, I'll be the first to stand up. The O's kingdom apologized, admitting its attack on the Skynet. Huaxia bore no grudges. A few days later, After numerous negotiations, everything went as smoothly as Fang Jueyu anticipated. All the member countries involved in the attack on Skynet apologized, and Huaxia received a wave of international praise. Amid the festive atmosphere of the new year, this incident only became a topic of small talk and was gradually forgotten. After all, there was always some new gossip to digest in the world every day. Compared to this kind of news, wasn't entertainment gossip more amusing? During the 7 days of the new year, Fang Jueyu mostly stayed at Gogh Xinyu's home. In the latter days, he accompanied Gogh Shu and the others on family visits as the future son-in-law of the Gogh family. With the identity of the world's wealthiest man, every relative treated him with great politeness. Even dining felt a bit restrained, but overall it was indeed pleasant, and so a joyful new year passed. Mid the desperate cries of the students, the start of a new semester arrived. Ordinary fourth-year students had already returned to school during the winter holiday to work on their graduation design. As for Fang Jueyu, he had no such concerns since he was going to participate in the National College Student Network Security Competition. However, he forgot one thing, which was that the first day of the competition was also the first day of school, and his university's team was scheduled to compete at 9 in the morning on that day. The school affairs and other matters involving Fang Jueyu were managed under different phone numbers, and during the holiday, his other phone number was always turned off. It wasn't until he woke up at 7 in the morning that he finally turned on this phone. Oh no, I'm dead meat. As soon as Fang Jueyu turned on the phone, he saw countless missed calls, all from the same person, Zhu Shank. Beep, beep, beep. Not even a minute had passed before his phone rang. I'm doomed. Teacher Zhu is definitely going to kill me. Fang Jueyu hesitantly pressed the answer button. Fang Jueyu. A voice that sounded like a volcanic eruption came from the other end of the phone. I've almost called you 1,000 times these past 2 days. Did you forget today is the competition day? I was just, it's the new year and I had my school phone off, but I remember, Teacher Zhu. Fang Jueyu lowered his voice, not knowing why he felt so intimidated in front of this teacher. Now that you're the richest man in the world, do you not care about me, the department head, anymore? With the competition less than 2 hours away, Fang Jueyu was nowhere to be seen. Zhu Shank didn't even know where he was. Zhu Shank was nearly worried enough to call the police. If Fang Jueyu didn't make it, they'd have to use a substitute, and he'd already thought of the consequences for that outcome. How would I dare, Teacher Zhu? I'm almost there. I'll definitely be at the venue before the competition. Don't worry. Fang Jueyu hurriedly started to get dressed, waking up Gogh Xinyu next to him with his exaggerated movements. Oh, you're already in Yanjing. I thought you really forgot. Hearing this, Zhu Shank finally let out a sigh of relief. What? In Yanjing? Fang Jueyu turned pale. Even a plane ride would take nearly 2 hours to get there, and now he had just that much time left with boarding and disembarking still ahead. How could he make it? All right, hurry over here. I'm waiting for you at the entrance of the Century Sports Complex. If you're not here before the competition starts, just wait to extend your studies. Without giving Fang Jueyu a chance to respond, Zhu Shank hung up the phone. Gogh, help me, it's an emergency. Fang Jueyu shouted, as 2 hours to get from Jiangnan City to Yanjing seemed like an enormous challenge. Master, I'm here. Gogh immediately appeared by Fang Jueyu's side, frightening Gogh Xinyu, who quickly curled up at the corner of the bed with her blanket. Xinyu, please find Sister Ying for me and get her to arrange a flight to Yanjing quickly. I'll be at the airport in 5 minutes. It has to take off in time. Gogh Xinyu had no idea what was going on, but obediently nodded. Gogh, driving won't cut it. Take me to the airport. Yes, master. Gogh grabbed Fang Jueyu and vanished from the room. Where on earth is he rushing off to? Zhuang Ying's work efficiency was indeed high. Fang Jueyu's private airport was staffed 24/7, and everything was in perfect condition. After a quick check, he was flown directly toward Yanjing. Dear me, this is going to ruin everything. Fang Jueyu was extremely anxious. The nearest airport to Yanjing was still 1 hour and 45 minutes away, and there still was the matter of landing and getting to the venue from the airport. Host, why don't you just avoid landing altogether? Have the pilot adjust the flight path to land you directly on top of the municipal sports center and throw you down from there. Are you crazy? Do you think this is skydiving? This is a private jet, not a plane for jumping, Fang Jueyu shouted. What's the difference? You're jumping down either way. Professional skydiving is done from 7,000 meters high and your plane flies at around 8,000 meters. What's there to fear? Xiaoyi said. Then how do I get down? Have Gogh carry me? If so, both Gogh and I will make headlines tomorrow. Fang Jueyu still remembered the fuss his last helicopter car transport caused. Performing a skydiving stunt would cause even more of a sensation. How about this? I'll pack you in an escape pod and drop you down, so it won't stand out as much. An escape pod? This plane has an escape pod. Of course, ensuring the host's safety is the top priority. Although you have Gogh with you, the plane is still equipped with an advanced escape pod. Where is it? Oh, it's that small room at the back. Fang Jueyu turned around to look at the red and blue checkered pattern, which looked suspiciously like a supply crate design. Which designer came up with this? Too much gaming. Host, this escape pod comes with an automatic buffering system and landing system. If I calculate today's wind speed and your drop speed, I can determine an accurate landing trajectory to ensure you land perfectly in front of the stadium by 8:50. All right, let's do it. Just try not to crash me. At this point, Fang Jueyu had no other choices. Why hasn't that kid shown up yet? With less than 15 minutes before the competition started, contestants were already entering the venue. If he wasn't seated 5 minutes before the start, they'd have to use a substitute. Look up there, something's coming down. Suddenly, a passerby pointed to the sky, where a box-shaped object slowly descended with a parachute. Whoa, an airdrop. Does it have a ghillie suit? What's going on? Boom! The box landed with a thud right in front of Zhu Shank, making a slightly muted sound as if it was quite heavy. Hiss! Smoke emerged from the top of the airdrop, and a door unexpectedly opened on top. Cough, cough! A teenager with somewhat messy hair crawled out from it. My goodness, it airdropped a person. Onlookers raised their phones to capture the scene. Was that Fang Jueyu? Zhu Shank recognized the somewhat disheveled young man as Fang Jueyu. How on earth did he just descend from the sky? Stop filming, haven't you ever seen an airdrop? Fang Jueyu, feeling slightly woozy, muttered as the sensation of dropping from above was really unpleasant. Teacher, has the competition started? Did I miss anything? Zhu Shank nodded numbly. How did you get down here? Zhu Shank was stunned by Fang Jueyu's peculiar entrance. I came by plane, you know, Fang Jueyu confessed honestly. To be honest, when you called me, I had just woken up and was still in Jiangnan City. There was no other way, so I had to make a slightly special entrance. Fang Jueyu took out his phone. Sister Xiao Ying, find someone to help me deal with the escape pod at the entrance of Century Stadium in Yanjing. Mr. Zhuo, let's hurry inside, the competition is about to start. Fang Jueyu glanced at the time. The participants' entry was nearly closed. Oh, right. Zhu Shank finally snapped out of it, pulling Fang Jueyu as they rushed toward the arena. This world always has people with nothing better to do. The video of Fang Jueyu descending from the sky appeared online just minutes later. I don't even want to watch anymore. Blind guess this person is Dean Fang. Agreed with the comment above. Everyone disperse. This kind of thing is basic operation for the Dean. Disperse, nothing interesting here. For the Dean, this is as normal as peeing and pooping, nothing surprising. Strangely this time, after netizens clearly saw Fang Jueyu's face, they weren't amazed at all. Someone capable of deploying over 200 planes for foreign employee commutes. Was it really strange for him to play skydiving with his own plane? Even if the flying pod looked like an airdrop, it was a bit odd. Though Fang Jueyu appeared everywhere frequently, it was rare for anyone to catch him. From the video, it was clear he had something to attend to at Yanjing Century Stadium, prompting many bored netizens to flock there. After all, from past experiences, whenever Fang Jueyu made such a flashy entrance, he was always about to do something earth-shattering. Liu Kao and the others were anxiously waiting. This first round was a super melee among 14 schools, and as usual, Jiangnan University, Yanjing University, and Qingbei University were the primary targets. Qingbei University had Liu Yairn, and Yanjing University had Su Miao. Though they had graduated and were ineligible to compete, they had trained a strong team skilled at handling such massive melees. In contrast, Jiangnan University, while they could earn some points during the melee, might advance through the early skirmish due to points, but their resistance weakened in subsequent matches as the remaining schools got stronger. Fortunately, their luck was good in not being grouped with Qingbei and Yanjing in the first match, but the other 13 schools were all eyeing them, and the pressure from the 13-strong attack was obvious. If Fang Jueyu doesn't make it, we'll follow our usual strategy, focusing on offense. We'll try to score as much as possible before our 10 nodes break down. Anyway, elimination order doesn't matter in ranking. Our target is point collection, Gogh instructed. With half of the schools advancing to the next round, their chances were still very promising. Got it, Ziyuzhai, Chen Feng, and a substitute named Zheng Qi were prepared mentally. There was less than a minute left until the end of participants' entry. Bang! Just then, the arena doors burst open, and a slightly disheveled figure rushed in. He's here, Fang Jueyu is here. The previously discouraged Jiangnan University team suddenly felt an infinite surge of energy, as if with Fang Jueyu's arrival, victory was guaranteed. Who is this, from which school? Holy crap, don't you recognize him? The world's richest man, Jiangnan University's Fang Jueyu. What's he doing here? Is he participating too? No way, right? Does he even know how? The world's richest isn't busy enjoying life but participates in a network security competition. Who knows? I heard Dean Fang was a computer science student at Jiangnan University. Maybe he does know. Look, he's going up there. He's actually a contestant. Sorry to keep you waiting, Fang Jueyu said. No worries, glad you're here, let's get ready. The competition starts in a few minutes. Gogh and the others gave Fang Jueyu a high five. What do we do in a bit, sleep or play on our phones? Chen Feng jokingly asked. Stop kidding, there are more than 40 opponents, Gogh knew. While Fang Jueyu made facing 20 seem like a breeze, doubling that number increased complexity exponentially. It was no joking matter. No worries, 40-something and 20-something are almost the same to me. Fang Jueyu took a sip of water and flexed his fingers. Just do as I say, you all just lie down and win. The three exchanged looks, showing helpless smiles. It seemed they were here for a vacation. The competition against Fang Jueyu alone would be sufficient. Damn, this kid runs too fast. By this time, Zhuo Shank finally caught his breath at the arena. Seeing Fang Jueyu already seated in the competitor's spot, he let out a sigh of relief. Mr. Zhuo, your health isn't what it used to be, the Zhejiang Business University chaperone said beside him. More than that, your Jiangnan University students are also getting weaker, right? A teacher from another school sarcastically commented. I doubt you'll even make it past the first round this year. HMPH, have a one-on-one with Jiangnan University's team if you've got the guts, Zhuo Shank retorted, undaunted. You lot are just relying on numbers. HMPH. The other teachers knew it was true and fell silent. Just wait, let's see how you still boast when you lose. Zhuo Shank focused intensely on Fang Jueyu. Fang Jueyu, maintaining Jiangnan University's dignity is all on you this time. At exactly 9 o'clock, the competition began, with the referee announcing the rules on stage. The rules were simple, 14-7, in a massive brawl format with 10 nodes. Loss of all nodes meant elimination. Scores were based on points. Breaking any node of any school earned 1 point, and the top 7 were chosen by points ranking. Ties led to later eliminations having priority, with no restrictions against alliances. Same strategy as before, everyone gathered to attack Jiangnan University first, then we'll rely on ourselves after they're dealt with. Just through eye contact, the 13 other schools formed a unified front. Suddenly, besides Fang Jueyu, the other 3 from Jiangnan University did something unimaginable. Squeak, squeak, Gogh, Chen Feng, and Ziyuzhai all lay back in their chairs. Under amazed gazes, each pulled out a pre-prepared eye mask and started sleeping. What are they doing? What does it mean, giving up? No way. They used to be the target of all schools' focus fire, but never behaved so passively. Could it be they're protesting against the other schools, shameless alliances this way? They just lack strength. Look at Qingbei University and Yanjing University. They're the ones always getting focused, yet they take the top 3 spots every year. The arena was filled with murmurs. Just what kind of trick was Jiangnan University playing at? Jiangnan University team members, are you feeling unwell? We have medical staff on site. If there's any emergency, we can adjust the timing of the competition. The organizers feared that there might be a health issue with the students and didn't start the match immediately. No problem, referee, you can start right away. We're going to take a nap. We woke up too early today, a bit sleepy, and we're planning to win by lying down, Gogh said as he pulled up his eye mask and then lay back down. What, did I hear that wrong? Did he say he wants to win by lying down? Oh my, is Gogh the best at Jiangnan University? If he doesn't intend to play, are they letting Fang Jueyu go it alone? Are you joking? Did the organizers add some special segment to liven up the atmosphere? This joke isn't funny at all, one against 52 people from other schools. Does he think Fang Jueyu is CN? Hahaha, maybe. I've heard CN and Dean Fang know each other. Otherwise, why would Dean Fang have lent his private jet to CN during the recent international currency market war? Alright, let's just watch. We'll know soon enough whether it's a joke. Mr. Zhuo, your students sure have a sense of humor. To crack such jokes in the middle of such a big competition, that's Jiangnan University for you. What humor? This is arrogance. Are they ignoring the elite students from the 13 schools? Nonsense, Zhuo Shank mentally cursed Liu Kao and his companions. Even with Fang Jueyu, they shouldn't be so reckless. What if Fang doesn't perform well? That would make Jiangnan University the laughingstock of Huaxia universities. However, he showed no sign of his inner turmoil. Hahaha, we really aren't putting you in our eyes. Other school teachers mocked and taunted, and Zhuo Shank retorted indignantly. He's more than enough alone. You'll see, 52 people. Even if you double your numbers, it won't make a difference. Jiangnan University team members, if there are no issues, we will start the match. The referee checked one last time. Start it, referee, Fang Jueyu said to the referee. Okay, then I announce, the first elimination match officially begins. With the referee's order, 10 LED lights lit up immediately behind each team, each light representing the number of remaining nodes they had. Additionally, a scoreboard kept track of each team's scores. HMPH, they are too arrogant, thinking one person can compete against all of us from 13 schools. Even if Liu Yiren and Su Miao were here, they couldn't do that alone. Exactly does he think he's CN? 2 for defense, Xu Songyan. You and I will attack Jiangnan University's nodes. Yes, Captain. As the match started, nearly every team assigned at least 2 members to launch a fierce attack on Jiangnan University's nodes. Look quickly, what is Fang Jueyu from Jiangnan University doing? He's drinking water at a time like this. The commentator incredulously looked at him, and the cameras on site zoomed in on Fang Jueyu for a close-up. Ding, the first green light behind Fang Jueyu went out, which meant their first node had been breached. But Fang Jueyu, unhurried, screwed the cap back on the bottle and then took a tissue to wipe his mouth. Ding ding ding, Jiangnan University team lost another 3 nodes. Haha, turns out they're just making a show for attention. He can't do anything. Previously tense team leaders from other schools immediately relaxed. Mr. Zhuo, what exactly is your student doing? Is this the one you said could fight against 10? What's that brat thinking? Zhuo Shank kept silent, unable to figure out what Fang Jueyu was planning. Finally, Jiangnan University had only 1 node left, while the other schools, despite some friction between each other, maintained relatively peaceful status, losing at most 2 or 3 nodes. Well, that's about enough. Suddenly, Fang Jueyu's gaze changed from relaxed to indifferent, ignoring everything. His fingers suddenly moved rapidly across the keyboard, inputting strings of code surpassing contemporary technology, turning the defense of the last node instantly into an impenetrable fortress. What's going on? Why can't we break the last node? Damn, what kind of defense is this? Why can't I find any bugs? Schools one after another targeted the last node of Jiangnan University, only to find it like an absolute defense, with no breach in sight. Alright, you've played for long enough, my turn. Fang Jueyu switched lines and immediately began a counterattack. Captain, our nodes are under attack. Which school is doing it? Didn't we agree to focus on Jiangnan University first? Captain, it seems to be Jiangnan University. What? But they were surrounded by us 13 schools. How could he still have energy to counterattack? I don't know, oh no. His data attack is too massive. Quickly, send someone to help me. No use, what kind of data bomb is this? It's 100 times larger than normal attacks. It's over, I can't hold it. I'm going to lose my node. I can't hold it either. From the moment Fang Jueyu counterattacked, the green lights behind the 13 schools went out in a frenzy, much like the lights out on a dating show, filling the stadium with a series of ding-ding-ding sounds. Fang Jueyu's fingers moved so quickly they were nearly invisible, each command executed with precision. To him, the school defenses were riddled with holes, just like a sieve, easily penetrable whenever he chose. Ding, Zhejiang Business University, which attacked fiercest, lost all 10 nodes, leaving 4 team members in despair. Their full defense only held for less than 20 seconds. Hahaha, sorry Mr. Zhou, my student's temperament is peculiar, likes to play for thrills, sorry for alarming you. Zhu Shang's confidence soared instantly. Weren't you just loudly clamoring a moment ago? Didn't you say you unite to attack Jiangnan University? How come now you can't even make a sound? Huxi University lost all nodes, eliminated. Xinfeng University lost 10 nodes, eliminated. Baichuan University eliminated. The counter on Fang Jueyu's back worked like clockwork, the numbers steadily rising, almost never halting. My God, it was Jiangnan University surrounded by 13 schools at all. It was him surrounding these 13 schools, 52 people single-handedly. Incredible, what can't Fang Jueyu do? With this skill, even Liu Yiren and Su Miao can't compare. Could he be some internet legend? Doesn't he remind you of someone? You felt it too. I think so too. He's like CN. 5 minutes later, the last school's nodes also completely vanished, leaving the numbers on the scoring boards behind all schools either 0 or 1, at most 2, while Fang Jueyu's scoring board was 99. This was because the scoreboard could only record 2 digits. Even in previous competitions, no school's score had ever exceeded 50, let alone reaching triple digits. Match over. The referee pressed the stop button, with Jiangnan University remaining as the only team with its lights still on. The audience stared at the 3 Jiangnan University members still lying on their chairs, all wearing expressions of shock. This darn really was winning by lying down. It's over so quickly. The 3 of them, Liu Ko, hadn't even felt sleepy yet, and the match had already ended. Under normal circumstances, a match usually lasted more than an hour before it could end. How long had it been? The 3 of them took off their blindfolds one by one, pretending to high-five Fang Jueyu, infuriating the other team's members with gritting teeth. Jiangnan University, with the highest total score, undoubtedly advanced to the second round. The team that scored 2 points actually ranked second, while there were 7 teams that scored 1 point. They never imagined that their advancement would be decided by the order in which they were eliminated. The 4 of them walked to the center of the stage, bowed to the audience below, then left with cheeky smiles. Next, the second match began. Oddly enough, everyone seemed uninterested in this match, still heatedly discussing the previous one that was jaw-droppingly lopsided. The attendees of this venue were all masters in the information security field, even including some legendary figures. If they revealed their IDs, it would definitely shock the place, but no one knew what they looked like. Kai and Jock, 2 legendary figures in the information security world, had no outsiders knowing their true identities. However, in the international online competition spontaneously held last July, these 2 ranked 4th and 6th internationally. How did he do it? Kai had been staring at Fang Jueyu's operation. His hand speed was just too fast. Kai's operational speed was absolutely top-notch, but estimating by the frequency of key strikes, Fang Jueyu's hand speed was definitely more than 3 times his. What did that mean? Human hand speed could be very fast, but as we know, human body endurance has its limits. When the finger speed reached a certain level, the muscles, bones, blood vessels, etc., in the fingers couldn't withstand such a burden. Kai could maintain a 5 to 10 second operational time at extreme speed. If he exceeded this speed, his hands would surely suffer irreversible damage. But Fang Jueyu completed the entire match at a speed more than 3 times the limit. Were his hands made of iron? This is beyond my knowledge. Jock also realized what Fang Jueyu's operations represented. But hand speed was just one indicator. Even with a hand speed 3 times the limit, countering attacks from so many people could be effortless, and even returning some attacks wasn't difficult. However, the attack intensity and number of attack targets were absolutely limited. And Fang Jueyu, under such immense pressure, he broke through hundreds of nodes in just a few minutes. Not a single node could withstand even 1 attack from him. What kind of massive data amount did this require? Either his hand speed was extremely fast, or his code was exceedingly exquisite. He seemed to possess both abilities. Well, there's nothing to see in this year's competition. Even if that guy Liu Yiren and Su Miao team up, they're no match for him. The champion is definitely Jiangnan University. Yeah, no suspense. Kai nodded in agreement. Even if the 2 of them joined forces, they weren't confident they could gain any advantage over Fang Jueyu. Are you going to watch the international competition in Singapore this year? Jock asked. Of course, we have to watch it. Maybe this year, the university student team from Huaxia can break the curse of no championship. I actually want to see whether he or Fei Care is stronger. Fei Care, Jock's mouth twitched. Fei Care was a woman, more accurately, she was just a girl. She was definitely a computer genius, starting elementary school at 5, getting admitted to the Hatton University in the United States at 13. She was only 15 this year, but she had been participating in the National University Network Information Security Skills competitions for 3 years, leading her team to victory every year, and ranked first internationally in personal rankings. A so-called genius must be someone like her. Jock and Kai also faced Fei Care several times, but the best result was only breaking 4 nodes in their team, showing her formidable strength. The most terrifying thing was that her power was still rising. What do you think? How do they compare in strength? Hard to say, their strengths far exceed ours. Probably only a face-off will provide the answer, Jock said. In the afternoon, there should be the second round eliminations. We can take a closer look. Yeah. The 4 morning matches ended, and Yanjing University and Qingbei University advanced to the next round without any suspense. After today's matches, 14 teams would remain, so there were 2 more matches in the afternoon. After watching the morning matches, almost every school was anxious, fearing they'd face Jiangnan University's team in the next matches. How would they compete? They basically couldn't contest. Whether they advanced completely depended on the order in which Fang Jueyu attacked. It seemed they wanted to keep the suspense until the final match. Yanjing University and Qingbei University were placed in the same group and finally advanced with the same score along with 5 other teams. When Jiangnan University's team took the stage, only Fang Jueyu walked up. Where are the other 3? The audience below immediately stirred. Forget it, he's enough by himself. What's the difference if the other 3 come or not? True, let's just see how many minutes this match takes to end, haha. Jiangnan University team, where are your other 3 players? The referee asked. Oh, they're not coming. The match doesn't require all 4 players to be present to start, right? Fang Jueyu asked back. The referee was left speechless. Indeed, there were no rules stating all 4 players must be present to continue. As long as one was there, the match could proceed. Then there's no problem. We want to go to eat Haidilao tonight. The business there in Yanjing is so good, we're afraid if we wait until the end and go, we can't get a number, so the other 3 went to get numbers first. Fang Jueyu said nonchalantly. What? The other 3 went to get numbers? Hahaha, is Fang Jueyu a devil? If it were me, I'd be too embarrassed to play again. Isn't he too arrogant? Arrogant? If you have this skill, you can be arrogant too. The guy's unbeatable. You've got a problem with his arrogance. If you can, go show off yourself. That's right. Haven't you seen enough of the Dean's slick moves? He's just that kind of person. If he's ever humble, then his brain must be broken. Then let's get started. The referee seemed to know a bit about what kind of sensationalist Fang Jueyu was. Clap, clap, clap. This time, Fang Jueyu did not hold back and launched a fierce attack immediately. All the teams completely gave up attacking Fang Jueyu. Surround him. That would just be foolish. By then, they wouldn't have any points, leading to nearly certain elimination. Their only hope of advancing was to abandon defense and frantically attack other school teams to get as many points as possible. What's going on? Didn't he wait until just 1 node was left before counterattacking in the morning? Why was he so agitated in the afternoon? Dunno, could he be in a bad mood? Buzz, the final node extinguished, with the match timer stopping at 1 minute and 27 seconds. Fang Jueyu didn't even wait for the referee to announce the results, jumping directly up from his chair. Players from Jiangnan University, I haven't announced the results yet. I couldn't hold it, I need to pee. The audience erupted. In less than a minute and a half, you wiped out over 100 nodes from 13 schools all because you needed to pee. Since the competition adopted a free-for-all format, the annual University Cybersecurity Skills Competition was neither lengthy nor tedious. It only took 3 days from the qualifiers to the finals, with an additional day for rest. The other 13 schools that made it to the finals, including the teams from Yanjing University and Qingbei University, were all shocked by Fang Jueyu's terrifying technical skills. They replayed Fang Jueyu's previous 2 matches repeatedly, hoping to find some weaknesses, but each match was so short that it was hopeless. How could they find a hammer's weakness like this? Yanjing University and Qingbei University sent the videos of the 2 matches to their honorary coaches Liu Yiren and Su Miao, hoping to get some help. However, in the end, both coaches gave a unanimous evaluation of Fang Jueyu. Monster. Judging by his exhibited skills, he had definitely reached the level of an international expert. Liu Yiren and Su Miao together weren't confident they could beat him. It seemed that, although the 13 teams appeared to be quite capable, winning against Jiangnan University was nearly impossible unless someone confiscated Fang Jueyu's mouse, keyboard, and network cable. Let's aim for second or third place, Liu Yiren sighed over the phone. It looks like in the future, Jiangnan University will dominate the Huaxia University's cybersecurity skills competition. While every team was fervently studying how to gain as many points as possible to improve their rankings, in the hotel room where Jiangnan University was staying, the 5 members of Fang Jueyu were having a blast in Summoner's Rift, seemingly forgetting they were here for a competition. Oh, let them be, Zhu Shank shook his head at the scene. They could win with or without training, so why bother with meaningless studies? Let them do as they please. Finally, it was the eagerly awaited third day, the day of the finals. The stadium stands were packed with spectators. Traditionally speaking, this cybersecurity technical competition was quite niche, and it would have been excellent to have even half the seats filled. Such a grand occasion had never occurred before. The reason was simple. Someone had posted Fang Jueyu's competition videos online. A large portion of the audience was spontaneously organized fans, some even holding banners and support items with Fang Jueyu's name on them. Old Fang, your popularity is scary now. As Liu Kao and the other 3 entered the stadium, they were overwhelmed by the thunderous cheers. It was just an information security technical competition, yet it had never been this popular before. Fang Jueyu laughed. What do you think? Should I go for a professional League of Legends or NBA tournament next? Or maybe hold a solo concert? Do you really think you're all that? Can you even do that? Liu Kao and the others thought he was just spouting nonsense. His computer skills were already top-notch, likely maxing out his time and potential. Could he actually be good at everything? Why not? Fang Jueyu retorted defiantly. I'm telling you, my basketball skills are off the charts. I could totally handle playing in the NBA. Everyone burst out laughing. I'm serious, Fang Jueyu insisted, looking dead serious. Initially, he thought the teachers at the Super God Academy were just a joke, but after studying for a while, he realized they were actually highly intelligent robots with exceptional skills. All right then, our school is holding a graduation basketball tournament in May, and we'll count you in for the Computer Science Academy team. Make sure you show up then. With his height of over 6 feet, maybe he really could play. Thank you everyone, thank you all. As Fang Jueyu passed by the audience, he warmly greeted his fans. Dean, you were amazing. The match the day before yesterday was incredible. Dean, are you doing a raffle tonight? Can I get special access? Dean, what you did the other day was fantastic. A friend wants to ask when you'll be giving away some Diddy flight coupons. Fang Jueyu was quite flashy, and his fans were just as flamboyant. He was approachable, often mingling with his fans and always doing things that delighted them, thus amassing a passionate fan base. HMPH, he really thinks he's a big shot now. Yeah, someone who doesn't know better might think he's a superstar. As Fang Jueyu greeted his fans, 2 discordant voices came from behind. Fang Jueyu glanced at them. It was the team members from Yanjing University. For the past few years, they had been the champions of the Huaxia University's division, but this time, with Fang Jueyu's unexpected rise, he was almost guaranteed the championship trophy. They were indeed not pleased. Not happy? Well, then bring a batch of fans yourselves. Fang Jueyu didn't get angry. He dealt with a lot of people cursing him daily, so if he took offense every time, he would only make himself unhappy. But Fang Jueyu wasn't someone with a good temper either. Did being the world's richest person mean he couldn't be talked about? Yep, exactly that. He really couldn't be talked about. He hadn't offended anyone from Yanjing University, so why the baseless ridicule? He was just going to be petty. By the way, are you still hoping to go for second or third place? Fang Jueyu flashed a playful smile. They're doomed. Seeing Fang Jueyu's expression, Liu Kao, the others, and his fans all showed a sympathetic look. So far, no one who had upset Fang Jueyu had ended up well. What do you mean? Oh, what I mean is, in this year's finals, don't expect to score a single point. Sigh, poor souls, that's what you get for mouthing off. The people around them sighed with pity. The 14 teams soon took their seats, and while Jiangnan University's team was complete, the other 3 members acted in unison, not even touching the computers on the tables, simply reclining their chairs to signal they would win by doing nothing. Begin the match. Knowing Jiangnan University's cheeky tactics, the referee didn't waste any time with them and directly announced the start of the match. Smack, smack, smack. Fang Juyu's fingers danced swiftly on the keyboard. In previous scenarios, the indicators should start going out, yet no school had lost a single node. What happened to him an off day? What's going on? I thought today's match would end even faster. What's the dean doing? Ha ha ha, looks like even he has off days. The 4 students from Yanjing University were suddenly invigorated. Forget about Jiangnan University and Qingbei University, just attack the other schools' nodes. Captain, it won't work. The nodes of the other schools have no vulnerabilities, we can't break in. What, that's impossible. Captain, they've enhanced their defenses. He, Fang Jueyu chuckled. I said you wouldn't score a point and I meant it. Damn, I get it now. He's used his computer to invade all the other schools' nodes, but instead of breaking them, he's helped them set up defenses. He really intends for Yanjing University not to score. Too strong and too ruthless. It's no use, Captain. I've tried everything and I can't find a single flaw. The students from Yanjing University were suddenly panicking. We're under attack. The attack data is overwhelming and has bypassed my defenses. I'm done, I've been eliminated. Thud, thud, thud. A few seconds later, the 10-node lights for Yanjing University almost simultaneously went out, and their scorecard remained a glaring 0. The people from Yanjing University were on the verge of tears. All they did was talk trash a bit. Was it necessary to go this far? HMPH, sorry, I'm just this petty and childish. Fang Jueyu had already penetrated the depths of their nodes while fortifying defenses for the other schools. It's over, he typed in one last string of code, and all the remaining nodes instantly went dark, leaving only Jiangnan University's 10 lights shining brightly. I announce that this year's National University Cybersecurity Skills Competition champion is Jiangnan University. In a month, they will represent us, Huaxia, at the World Exchange Competition. Having won the championship in this competition, Zhu Shank kept his promise and directly gave Fang Jueyu and the other 3 excellent grades for their graduation theses, which meant Fang Jueyu's university life was completely over. Fang Jueyu would still represent the school in the upcoming competition in Singapore next month, but Zhu Shank faced another challenge. This year, entering the World Championship was entirely thanks to Fang Jueyu, but what about next year, the year after that? Once they lost the freakish Fang Jueyu, Jiangnan University would quickly return to its original state, and they would probably become a laughingstock for other schools again. After a discussion among the school's senior executives, they made a surprising decision, appointing Fang Jueyu as an honorary professor of the Information College at Jiangnan University. When Zhu Shank told Fang Jueyu about this, Fang Jueyu was clearly unwilling. This old fox wanted to tie him to Jiangnan University. It wasn't that Fang Jueyu didn't love his alma mater, but a person as busy as him couldn't be tied down by the title of a professor. However, Zhu Shank knew Fang Jueyu's character. He had only one request, which was to train a group of outstanding talents in the field of computer information security for the school every year. Besides this, he didn't have to do anything else, but he would enjoy all the benefits of a senior professor. Thinking it over, he decided he could just recruit 1 student each year and throw them into the Supercars Academy. It wouldn't really require much of his energy. Coming to this realization, Fang Jueyu straightforwardly agreed, considering it as a contribution to his alma mater. Without the constraints of school affairs, Fang Jueyu spent most of his free time at the Supercars Academy. During this period, Fang Jueyu recruited more than 20 students, bringing some life to the academy. Guo Junyu, you're stealing my unicorn again. Stop right now. Your operational skills and physical fitness aren't good enough for that. Stick to driving your Zaku. By man, look at you, you blew up the furnace again. Can't you learn properly from your sister Baiyu? Look, she's already able to make qualified pills and you can't even recite the textbooks. If you keep this up, I'll have to report to the dean. Qin Yun, I recall you practiced boxing before. You're not learning my 8 extremes break, nor the heavenly frost fist, but insist on learning that little Li's flying dagger. Do you think you're the dean, mastering everything so quickly? Seeing the lively scene at the academy, Fang Jueyu felt gratified, knowing his followers were gradually increasing. Xiao Yu, are you still running away? Fang Jueyu leaped up, barely able to harness the surrounding cosmic source energy, pulling the not yet expertly piloted Unicorn Gundam down from the sky. If you don't behave, I'll tell your sister. Fang Jueyu yanked him out of the cockpit and handed him over to Teacher Banerjee behind him. Brother-in-law, I was wrong. I won't do it again. Don't tell my sister I can't beat her. Gogh Junyu wasn't afraid of anything except Gogh Xinyu. Teacher Banerjee, this kid is quite cunning. Don't hold back. Sometimes you need to punish him without sparing my feelings. Fang Jueyu handed Gogh Junyu over to Banerjee. Got it, Dean. Banerjee got back into the cockpit of the Unicorn Gundam, taking Gogh Junyu along, still cursing. You brat, the Dean said so this time when we get back. You'll do 10 sets of comprehensive papers for me. Host, your speed of progress is faster than I imagined. In about a month, you should become a hidden elementer. Is that so? It seems that the ancient book left by my ancestors does have some effect. Under normal circumstances, it would take Fang Jueyu at least 6 months to become a hidden elementer, but now it was almost a third faster. I also need to find an opportunity to start developing my Super God Academy, Fang Jueyu said thoughtfully. Host, you have a call coming in, it's Mr. Wang Kong. Oh, this guy has disappeared since making that big profit, now what's he calling me for? Fang Jueyu teleported out of the Super God Academy, as there was no cell signal in this separate space. Hey Boss Wang, where have you been making money lately? Fang Jueyu teased. Don't mock me, buddy. I've been humiliated recently and even got beaten up. A voice full of grievance came from the other end of the line. Beaten up? Who dares to beat you, Prince Wang? This wasn't sarcasm from Fang Jueyu. Wang Kong was well known in Huaxia, and although many internet users expressed their dislike and threatened to put a sack over his head, it was mostly in jest. Video call, Wang Kong said unhappily. What the hell? Who are you? The phone screen showed a face swollen like a beehive-stung pig's head, completely unrecognizable as Wang Kong. Even his mother probably wouldn't recognize him now. Ha 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 ha. After a moment of confusion came uproarious laughter. It wasn't that Fang Jueyu wasn't giving him face, it was just too funny to see him like this. Laugh, keep laughing, laugh and I'll cry for you to see. All right, I stopped. Fang Jueyu finally caught his breath after laughing. I said, what exactly did you do? Didn't you tease some virtuous woman and get beaten up for it? Am I that kind of person? Wang Kong replied. I swear, everyone who gets into my bed does it willingly. I believe that, who wouldn't want money? To be honest, I got beaten up by my future father-in-law, Wang Kong confessed. Father-in-law? You, someone who plays around with women every day, actually have a father-in-law? Fang Jueyu was surprised, because if he had a daughter, he definitely wouldn't marry her off to a playboy like Wang Kong. Come on, that was me in the past. Now I've found true love and changed my ways, Wang Kong declared. Oh, do tell. Looking at you, could it be that you're really in love? Fang Jueyu said with curiosity. As for someone like Wang Kong, this was indeed big news. The last time Fang Jueyu made a big splash in the currency market, Wang Kong pulled together several billion US dollars in funds for him. In fact, he didn't have that much money himself, but Wang Lin provided it. Their family faced significant issues recently, and Wang Lin put everything on the line. But unexpectedly, this investment more than doubled in value, and with the new funding injection, their company revived nearly from the dead, while he also gave part of the money to Wang Kong for management. During this process, Wang Kong met a girl named Chen Menghen. They initially competed for the same project, but during the competition, they developed subtle feelings for each other. Chen Menghen discovered that Wang Kong wasn't as superficial as he seemed. The reason he played with models and women daily had to do with his past family issues. Yet deep down, he longed for a woman who could truly enter his heart. By a fortunate coincidence, Chen Menghen became that person. Although they'd only known each other for just over a month, they developed quite strong feelings. Wang Kong, after deep reflection, corrected all his previous faults and devoted himself fully to his work. But unexpectedly, a short while ago, the news of Wang Kong dating Chen Menghen reached her father's ears. Their family was unique, and they strongly opposed their relationship. Wang Kong, however, didn't comply and continued seeing Chen Menghen. Just recently, someone claiming to have been sent by Chen Menghen assaulted Wang Kong on the street, leaving him in this condition, warning him to stay away from her. Old Fang, I'm not bragging. I was a Taekwondo black belt in high school and later learned Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Against 3 to 5 people, I'd hold my own, but that person took me down with one move, Wang Kong mumbled. Do you think I might have run into someone like Gogh? Really? How so? Wang Kong realized at the auction last time that Gogh was no ordinary person. The world was far more complex than he had imagined. That guy looked thin and small, but when he grabbed me, it felt like some force surged into my body. No matter how I resisted, I couldn't muster any strength, Wang Kong recalled. I'm 6 feet tall and weigh over 150 pounds, while he's only about 5'7" and a little over 100 pounds. He lifted me with one hand. That's not something an average person can do. Oh, Fang Jueyu understood that Wang Kong had encountered a martial artist. The force surging into his body must have been inner strength. It seemed the opponent had spared him. Otherwise, he would have suffered more than just some minor injuries. Come over to my house tonight. Bring your girlfriend. I'll treat you to dinner and get to know your situation better. Wang Kong was a pretty good friend of his. Since he was turning over a new leaf, Fang Jueyu felt he should lend a helping hand. At 5:30 p.m., Wang Kong arrived punctually, accompanied by a sweet-looking girl, quite different from Wang Kong's previous tastes in internet-famous faces. You got here quickly, have a seat. Fang Jueyu quickly welcomed them in. Aunt Zhu, please notify the chef to start serving. Old Fang, where is Xinyu? Oh, she has a new song coming out soon. She's still in the recording studio, Fang Jueyu replied. This girl has the world's richest man as her boyfriend, yet she works so hard. Ha, everyone needs dreams. Otherwise, what's the difference between them and a salted fish? Fang Jueyu laughed. So, aren't you going to introduce me? Oh, my bad memory. Wang Kong sheepishly slapped his head, looking genuinely happy. Perhaps he really was in love. This is my girlfriend, Chen Menghen. Menghen, this is my buddy Fang Jueyu, the world's richest man, someone you should know. Hello, Chen Menghen extended her hand confidently. Not bad, you've got good fortune to meet someone like this. Fang Jueyu politely shook hands and guided them to the dining room. Miss Chen, if I'm not mistaken, you should be at the hidden force peak level of cultivation, right? Fang Jueyu could tell that Chen Menghen had abundant inner strength. As he thought, the Chen family was indeed from the ancient martial world or an ancient sect. Chen Menghen showed a trace of surprise but quickly masked it. The management fee was an unwritten rule in the ancient martial world. As the world's richest man, Fang Jueyu must have rubbed shoulders with people from their circle. How did Mr. Fang discern my cultivation level? Chen Menghen's background was even higher than that of Qin Yun's Qin family. Her family had 3 innate masters, powerful enough to match an ancient martial sect. Just a little trick, Fang Jueyu laughed. He grabbed Wang Kong's arm, and a current of biological energy coursed through Wang Kong's body. His swollen pig-like face healed at a speed visible to the eye. Feeling the burning sensation on his face vanish, Wang Kong quickly checked his reflection with his phone. Not only had his face returned to normal, but even the pimples on his forehead had disappeared. Amazing, Wang Kong's face lit up with joy. Menghen, don't think he's just the world's richest man. His bodyguard is quite something too. I saw with my own eyes him release a ball of fire that almost burnt my eyebrows off. A superpower user. Chen Menghen immediately thought of this. In Huaxia, the ancient martial world was autonomously managed by the Ancient Martial Federation, while superpower users were managed by the government. Having a superpower user as a bodyguard meant Fang Jueyu had a significant background. Let me guess, Miss Chen, does your father oppose your relationship with Wang Kong because he isn't from the ancient martial world? Wow, you can even guess that. There were almost no secrets between Chen Menghen and Wang Kong. On their way here, Wang Kong had told her about being attacked, and she immediately knew why. As an ancient martial family, the most crucial things were resources and connections. Chen Menghen's father always wanted her to marry someone from an ancient martial family or sect, hoping for a strong alliance that would elevate the Chen family's standing. So when her family learned of her romance with Wang Kong, they immediately opposed it. Wang Kong's family might be wealthy, but the wealth controlled by the Chen family was far greater than what Wang Kong and Wang Lin had. Such money wasn't something they'd care about. Miss Chen, I understand, but what kind of boyfriend would satisfy your family? Fang Jueyu asked with a smile. Sigh, Chen Menghen sighed. My dad wants me to marry into a family with at least one innate master, or at least an 8th grade or higher alchemist. As for what kind of person I marry, he doesn't care. It seems your family only sees you as a tool. Chen Menghen's expression immediately darkened. Old Fang, Wang Kong gave him a reproachful look. Fang Jueyu wasn't wrong. Chen Menghen had 2 brothers, both exceptionally talented and capable of inheriting the Chen family. Chen Menghen had trained hard since childhood to escape this fate. But in the end, nothing changed. Unless Chen Menghen could break through to the force transform level at her age, she would have no voice in her family and would merely be a tool for political marriage. 3 innate masters, that's so-so. So-so, Chen Menghen almost spat out the water she had just drunk. Among the hundreds of ancient martial families in Huaxia, those with innate masters were rare, let alone 3. The Chen family ranked in the top 3 among ancient martial families. Wang Kong, call me dad, and I'll take you to propose to her family in a couple of days. I guarantee even the Chen ancestor will amiably agree to let you marry her. Hell no, don't try to take advantage of me. Wang Kong knew that Fang Jueyu never took things seriously verbally, but he could tell Fang Jueyu was willing to help, and for him, this wasn't a problematic affair. Are you crazy? Chen Menghen couldn't help standing up. Fang Jueyu, you don't know how formidable my family is. Even if you're the world's richest man, you're nothing to them. Haven't the ancient martial association sought you for the management fee? Chen Menghen knew Fang Jueyu was likely a superpower user or an ancient martial cultivator with a formidable bodyguard, but she didn't think it could change anything. Oh, you mean those guys wanting to collect protection money? Chen Menghen blushed. Although everyone knew it was protection money, no one dared to say so outright. Those people claiming to be from the Gogh sword sect, I beat them up and sent them away. They didn't get a penny and still owe me $1 million. When I have time, I'll trouble them more. Fang Jueyu, quit joking around. The Gogh sword sect is a huge organization, and the ones who usually come to collect fees are an elder with a few disciples. The weakest elder in the Gogh sword sect is at the peak of Ganjin strength. How could you possibly beat them? As for his bodyguard, according to Wang Kong, he appeared to be in his 30s, but for a superpower user to break through to SSS level, to a level comparable to an innate master, was even more difficult than a Ganjin expert advancing to innate. In Chen Menghen's mind, Gogh might at best be an SSS-level superpower user, though with the natural advantage of his abilities, he might defeat an elder from the Gogh sword sect, but they would never let it go easily. Now that Fang Jueyu was safe and sound, it was clear he had already paid the management fee. Yet here he was, boasting, which was not at all like how Wang Kong had described Fang Jueyu. Chen Menghen seemed a bit unhappy. Wang Kong had approached him as a friend to discuss this matter, but he didn't expect Fang Jueyu to spout nonsense. Sai, why do you all judge people by appearances? Fang Jueyu shook his head. These ancient martial families always had this problem, thinking only the elderly with white hair were true masters. He even wondered if he should find a hairstylist to dye his hair white to seem like a sage. Never mind, let me give you some confidence first. Fang Jueyu stood up, and his terrifying presence, like a wave, surged forward as if he had one foot in the realm of hidden elementers. Old Fang, you. Wang Kong stood before Fang Jueyu and felt as if someone was choking him, and it was difficult to breathe, like his chest was filled with water. Innate master, Chen Menghen's eyes were filled with shock. Although Fang Jueyu hadn't stepped into the innate yet, his biological current was incredibly pure. With 1 foot in the realm of hidden elementers, he could already manipulate the energy of cosmic source power. His current strength surpassed that of early innate masters. Therefore, in Chen Menghen's eyes, Fang Jueyu's strength had already entered the innate realm. A 20-something innate master was unheard of throughout history. If Wang Kong had Fang Jueyu's level of expertise, the Chen family would be crying and begging to marry him, rather than making things difficult or even having someone beat him up. Now do you believe I can give them a good beating? Fang Jueyu withdrew his aura and sat back down. Chen Menghen nodded absently. As long as innate masters weren't involved, a good beating was certain. Even if Fang Jueyu were to slay them on the spot, the people of the Gogh sword sect wouldn't dare say a word. Such actions would be seen as an affront to an innate master. If you still think it's not enough, I'll introduce someone. Fang Jueyu called out, Gogh, come here. Master, what are your orders? Gogh instantly appeared behind Fang Jueyu and spoke respectfully. Gogh, show them a bit of flying. Yes, master. Gogh's body magically began to float as if gravity didn't affect him at all. He's flying. Wang Kong had seen Gogh use fire abilities before, but flying into the sky was much more visually impactful. This is the mythical realm. Chen Menghen's expression was identical to those who saw Gogh at the Bai family for the first time. They didn't even know if the mythical realm existed, let alone witness someone of such power. Chen family's Chen Menghen greets the elder. Chen Menghen quickly stood up and bowed respectfully to Gogh, seeing him as a profoundly mysterious expert. No need to be so courteous, Miss Chen. I'm merely the master's bodyguard, and you are the master's guest. Gogh, you may stand down. Fang Jueyu waved his hand. Yes, master. Gogh vanished like a phantom behind him again. Fang Jueyu, is he really just your bodyguard? This time, Chen Menghen could hardly stay calm. Having a mythical realm expert as a bodyguard explained his confidence. Not to mention the Gukeng sword sect. Even if the entire ancient martial association attacked in full force, a mythical realm expert like Gogh, you could obliterate them in an instant. In the legends of the ancient martial world, mythical realm experts were akin to gods. Yeah, it's nothing unusual. There are thousands of people with such skills in my family, Fang Jueyu said with a light smile. Thousands? Chen Menghen was nearly petrified. In today's ancient martial world, not to mention mythical realm experts, people in the heavenly and divinity transformation realms were almost unheard of. But she couldn't outright deny Fang Jueyu's words. His background was indeed intimidating. Menghen, is he really that powerful? Wang Kong lacked a concrete understanding of mythical realm experts and didn't grasp what that represented. He could destroy our Chen family effortlessly, Chen Menghen said. You mean that big dope has such skills? Wang Kong regained his composure, realizing it might solve his and Chen Menghen's issues. Old Fang, in a couple of days, it's Menghen's father's birthday. Lend me Gogh for a couple of days, would you? Wang Kong joked with a grin. I'll personally accompany you, Fang Jueyu said. Seems like as your dad I should prepare some betrothal gifts. Piss off, don't try to take advantage of me, Wang Kong joked back. I can handle this expense. What do you know? Does the Chen family lack money? Fang Jueyu knew that for these families, money was irrelevant. Only resources for immortal cultivation and ancient martial arts mattered. What do they need then? Wang Kong asked curiously. They need these. Fang Jueyu pulled out some round objects and placed them on the table. Immediately, dozens of pills rolled across it. Such a nice aroma, what is this stuff? Wang Kong picked one up and examined it closely. New flavor of candies. Candy my foot, Fang Jueyu glared at him. Chen Menghen, you recognize this, right? This is a pill. The Chen family had an alchemist, and while that alchemist could occasionally produce pills, they were nowhere near this quality in color and quality. Did you make these yourself? No, I'm a rich second generation. Of course my parents gave me these, Fang Jueyu laughed. I'll offer these as the betrothal gift on Wang Kong's behalf. 1,000 Qi gathering pills, 100 breaking strength pills, 50 gang transformation pills, and 10 innate pills of 8th grade. Enough. You're kidding, right? Chen Menghen was too stunned to speak. The Chen family only had 3 innate masters, but many were at the peak of Gangjin. These 10 innate pills could raise 10 more innate masters for the Chen family. As for the rest, they were invaluable for training the younger generation, who could refuse such a grand betrothal gift. Even if it were a 10th, the Chen family would eagerly accept. Old Fang, from today on, you're my blood brother. Seeing Chen Menghen's expression, Wang Kong could easily imagine the value of these items. Stop being corny. The cost to make these hardly hits $1 billion. They treasure them, though, Fang Jueyu said truthfully. The herbs weren't all that expensive. Alchemy was what was truly invaluable. Otherwise, why is science and technology known as the primary productive force? But I'm not giving these away for nothing, Fang Jueyu teased haughtily. That's easy, how much? I'll pay you the cost even double. Please do, I need your billions, Fang Jueyu grinned mischievously. I'm practically giving you a betrothal gift to marry. Isn't it fair to call me dad? Fang Jueyu, don't push it. Even if I starve or get beaten by my father-in-law, I'll never call you dad. Fine, then wait for your father-in-law to kick you out. Dad? Ah, good. In a few days, Dad will take you to propose. Damn it, I told you to drive an off-road vehicle, yet you insisted on a sports car. Now you know what pain feels like, huh? Come on, you didn't tell me the road to your father-in-law's place was this rough. If I'd known, I wouldn't have driven my son God, not even for a Wuling Hongguang. It's my first time here too. How was I supposed to know? Otherwise, I'd have told you to fly a helicopter. Fang Jueyu, Wang Kong, and Chen Menghen trudged along the winding mountain path. They de-abandoned Fang Jueyu's modified sun god back along the road. Fang Jueyu had assumed the Chen family, like the Bai family, would be in the middle of nowhere, but he expected the road there to be a bit smoother. However, when Chen Menghen came to pick them up, It turned out there was a mountain behind her with an elevation of over 2 or 3,000 meters, and the Chen family was nestled in a valley of that mountain. Even an off-road vehicle might struggle on this path, let alone a sports car. Ha ha ha, I don't mind. My martial arts protect me. This mountain path feels like a flat surface to me. It's you who'll be half dead by the time we get there, right? Fang Jueyu mocked. HMPH. When we get back, I'm crashing at your place for 3 to 5 days, eating and drinking for free every day to make up for the calories I've burned today. All right, I've already helped you with your wife's issues this time. Don't take advantage and act all coy. Let's get moving. You've been resting for 20 minutes. If we keep wasting time, the sun will set. HMPH, damn you. Wang Kong grumbled as he stood up and continued toward the valley where the Chen family was located. Looks like it's time to modify the car again. Maybe install an anti-gravity system, or go all out with a solar furnace. Would it be too shocking? Fang Jueyu pondered. The car could only drive on the ground, which was sometimes quite inconvenient. Host, as long as we have sufficient materials, I can apply a layer of invisible material for you. Then you won't have to worry about anyone discovering the anti-gravity system or the solar furnace. All right, let's do that. I'll get to modifying it when we get back. Fang Jueyu snapped his fingers. Hey, stop moving like a turtle. Let's hurry, or your father-in-law's birthday will be over. Fang Jueyu grabbed Wang Kong by the collar and, light as a feather, moved forward. Haha, these two clowns. Chen Menghen watched them bicker the whole way. Even though they insulted each other and imagined being each other's dads, male friendship seemed oddly quirky. She could feel that they truly got along. She chuckled, let them be. Talking nonsense isn't a crime. Chen Menghen leaped lightly, skillfully traversing the mountains. With Fang Jueyu as their transportation, their speed significantly increased, and they soon spotted the Chen family situated in the valley below. This was indeed a hidden family. The Chen family's buildings lay in the center of the valley, surrounded by fields and a clear stream, creating a self-sufficient ecosystem. The Chen family's property almost resembled a small town. Hey, where's your girlfriend? You're running like your life depends on it. She's long lost in the dust, Wang Kong yelled. About 10 minutes later, Chen Menghen finally caught up, out of breath. She had just barely managed to keep up with Fang Jueyu at first, but later her stamina couldn't keep pace. Here, catch. Fang Jueyu tossed a chi-gathering pill to her. Chen Menghen deftly caught the pill and tucked it into her pocket. This type of chi-gathering pill could accelerate the absorption of cosmic source power by the body, thus speeding up the growth of inner strength. In those ancient martial families, such pills were treasures. Even the most privileged might not get 1 or 2 a month. Only someone like Fang Jueyu could use them like regular energy supplements. Hey, Chen Menghen, you don't need to be so frugal. These things aren't worth much, only costing a few $1,000 each. Don't hide it. Chen Menghen blushed, thinking, you think these pills are easy for us to come by? Fang Jueyu threw another one over. Just eat it. My pills are way better than those junk ones. Menghen, just take it. This bastard doesn't lack this stuff, Wang Kong chimed in. Only then did Chen Menghen reluctantly swallow the pill. The pill's energy surged through her limbs instantly, replenishing all the inner strength she had consumed, and astonishingly, she felt her inner strength flowing within her, growing by the minute. Now, Chen Menghen seemed to understand why Fang Jueyu had such achievements at a young age. With enough pills, using them like meals and water daily, his growth speed without training could surpass their meticulous efforts. Heh, now that's more like it, Fang Jueyu laughed. These aren't expensive. I can make 100 or 2 in an hour using a rice cooker. At my place, we feed these to the dogs. A scene from a few days ago flashed in Chen Menghen's mind. It seemed Fang Jueyu's black dog, Guzi, had a bowl filled with things that didn't look like regular dog food. It turned out those were the pills martial artists would fight over. Seems like someone's coming. At this moment, Fang Jueyu heard a commotion from the direction they had traveled. Looking over, he saw a group of people in identical white robes moving through the trees. Each had a longsword on their back, and the same symbol was embroidered on their clothing's chest. That's the Gogh sword sect. Fang Jueyu immediately recognized them because he saw Elder Gudong, whom he had beaten up last time. His injuries seemed fully healed. He even looked quite energetic now. Yes, my father invited many families and sects. Our family has some prestige, so the leaders of those sects and families should all be attending today. Oh, so that means the sect leader of the Gogh sword sect should also be here today. Fang Jueyu flashed a mischievous smile. Great. Last time they smashed my door and didn't even pay for the mental damages. I'll just collect everything this time. Hey, Fang Jueyu, be careful. Their sect leader is an innate martial artist. Don't mess around, Chen Menghan warned. But a cold, expressionless face flashed before her eyes, and she let out a wry smile. With a mythical realm powerhouse protecting him, what did the Gugh Sword sect count for? Someone's coming, on guard. The disciple at the front of the Gugh Sword sect halted, alertly watching ahead. A moment later, a young man, appearing in his early 20s, stood before them with a look of disdain. Yet he exuded the presence of a fierce beast. Damn you, Gudong, where are you? Pay up.